Hey there, I'm Mr. Know-It-All, the lead swing trading analyst trader at Swing Trade Pros, the #1 swing trading and bot community in the world. And I genuinely want to help you make your mark in the thrilling world of swing trading cryptocurrency. I've been trading since 2017, and I've taught myself many different trading strategies, patterns. I'm known for the falling wedge pattern, as you guys might know. I've dedicated my life to mastering these types of structures and patterns, and now my goal is to impact the lives of 1 million of you. You heard that right. My goal is to impact 1 million people this full cycle. Let that be you. Cryptocurrency markets can be a roller coaster ride, full of ups and downs. But through swing trading, I've discovered a strategy that can truly make a difference. I've poured countless hours to studying the intricacies of wedge patterns, rising wedge patterns, you name it, and it has become my area of expertise. Here's the thing. I genuinely want to see you thrive in this market. That's why I've made it my mission to impact 1 million of you. I want to provide you with the tools, insight, and support you need to navigate this exciting but challenging landscape. Swing trading is not just about technical analysis, it's about understanding market psychology and developing disciplined risk management strategies. I'll be there to guide you step by step as we identify different types of patterns and structures and seize profitable opportunities. Together, we'll build your confidence in trading skills, ensuring you're well prepared to face the twists and turns of swing trading. Believe me when I say that I genuinely care about your success. That's why I'm inviting you to join me, Mr. Know-It-All, on this transformative journey. Let's make the most of this full cycle and work towards your financial freedom together. You'll find all my links in my bio. Reach out and let's dive into this world of swing trading. I'm here to support you and your family and guide you every step of the way because your success matters to me. Together, let's make a real impact and achieve trading success.
All right, welcome back, traders. I want to wish everyone a happy Easter for all those who celebrate it. And, well, doesn't look like anyone wanted to join us tonight. No, just kidding. People will slowly trickle in here. So we are going to cover Bitcoin's monthly close. It was also a quarterly close breakout here for Bitcoin. Wow, what a quarter here for Bitcoin, right? Quarterly breakout. Awesome stuff here for Bitcoin. All right. So we're going to cover this here, and we're going to give you guys kind of a longer term approach today. I think looking at the longer term timeframes is pretty important. So, we can see here that, well, on the quarterly, Bitcoin is outside of the bands, and, we are just now starting to build this positive momentum here on the quarterly, and we can see that our RSI is becoming overbought, which is something that Bitcoin typically does in bull markets. We continue to go overbought. And we can also really see that the quarterly stochastics are still way down here, man. So I think that we have lots of room to run on this asset. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we even have the 2-month crossing bullish here. The monthly obviously has flatlined up here. No real sign yet of a reversal to the downside on the monthly time frame. On the weekly, also still holding up here. No cross downs on the weekly time frame, so everything still looks good. We could still see some pullbacks along the way, but if you go, we just opened a new monthly white candle. Like I said last time, the first white candle printed last month. So to me, this just means mostly up only, right? The first white candle. I guess we can't really count 2013 cycle, but you guys can see the pattern repeating itself over and over again. 2013 cycle, we had, about, 273 days of bull run. 2017's run, we had about 334 days of bull run. 2021 cycle was a bit shorter. We had about 3 months here of white candles, but we really double topped. It was about 300 days. So we could be looking, around that, 200 to 300 days of continued runnage here for Bitcoin. So, if we plot that, that's like into almost to like if we estimate to 200 days, it's like October to November-ish time frame, maybe even into January for this bull market. All right. And so what I will be doing is I will probably be de-risking stuff here, probably in October, November before the election, because I think, if they start cutting interest rates in June, we typically have about 6 months after the Fed starts cutting rates for the markets to really react to that. Meaning we probably start to crash about 6 months after historically when the Fed starts to cut interest rates. So I think a really great strategy is to take profits along the way. And, like as the assets are going up, every month, maybe take, 5 to 10% off the table, 5 to 10% off the table every month, so that you don't feel like, you're missing the rest of the run, or you're sacrificing, your moon bags or whatever. And that's what I'll be doing. Come here after the halving, like in May, June, I'm going to probably start to take profits, because you don't really know where this thing is going to really end up topping out, right? So the safest thing you can do is to de-risk your positions and your bags along the way. Obviously, if they're in patterns, they're going to complete those patterns, but you want to sell into strength always, guys. Remember, you don't want to sell when the market's starting to turn the other direction. You want to sell into strength so you get top dollar for your asset. All right. And I still think we have quite some time on this run. As just noted here, we have about 6-7 months, I think, maybe a little bit longer. So that's my strategy. And everyone is going to have their own strategies on what they want to do. But that's my strategy. And hopefully you guys have some sort of strategy in place for yourselves. All right. What's up, though? Happy Easter, buddy. I do money. Capital. Come on, bro. So what's cool is that the 2-month is just crossing up here on Bitcoin. We haven't had a 2-month cross up since May of 2020, and that catalyzed the next major bull market for Bitcoin. Volatility starting to tick up. Once we start ticking up on that volatility, you guys can see what happened previously. Volatility picked up, huge bull run. Volatility picked up, huge run. Volatility picking up, well, you guys know what's to come. Huge run. All right. Hope you guys are ready. This is the moment we've been waiting for the last 2 years. This right here. This phase 3 and phase 4 of the bull market is the most profitable time you can be in the crypto market. All right. So this is it, guys. This is it. In my opinion, this is it. All right. So let's take a look at tether dominance, because that's also going to play a pretty important role here. I'm going to redraw this chart because I think maybe it got screwed up here a bit. But all right. So new monthly candle, right? New monthly candle. Our weekly RSI was oversold, or is oversold. We're not really showing any divergence yet on the RSI, but we are showing a bit of divergence on the weekly MACD, a bit. And we are looking at maybe a 3-day cross, but I'm not really too concerned about it right now. We got this bounce. That was that bit of a pullback we saw. We're coming back down to the range low here. I ultimately, we are gonna get a pullback somewhere along the line, a major pullback somewhere along the line. But I'm of the opinion that this market's just gonna send because of how beat up a lot of these coins still are. I know there's coins out there that have already done some massive moves, and those are the coins that are probably going to continue to outperform the market, and that's great. That's great. There's always going to be those assets that do that for sure. But if we just plot tether dominance here and kind of take a look at it from the downside perspective, because, well, let's look. All right, so our quarterly, you can see the bullish momentum is being lost. The 2-month, again, bullish momentum being lost. The monthly crossed bearish. Beautiful. Our first bearish cross on tether dominance, guys. That is major. That is major. And you can see the weekly not losing this bearish momentum yet. It's still got a quite large separation here between the bullish and the bearish momentum. I would be a little cautious here if this does start to diverge, or this starts to bearishly diverge on the weekly time frame. But we haven't shown that just yet. Okay, but the separation here is something to really take note of. Tether is really weak. It's really weak, right? Okay. And the bottom of the rising wedge here is a 0.56% reading. Now, I'm not saying it's going to go there, but it can go there eventually. But what I will say is, more than likely, we will touch this 1.67% region, which is the major Fibonacci first retracement level. And what do you think the market's going to do if that happens? I'll leave that up to you guys to kind of understand where that's going. But it is going to get crazy, is all I'm going to say. Some of these assets are going to be doing some stupid stuff here in the next couple months. Obviously you have some ones that are really outperforming the market. You have some ones that are lagging. It doesn't really matter. They're all going to do something conducive and positive if they're in good technical setups, right? So the XRPs of this world, yeah, man, XRP is going to break out. It's going to happen, right? Everyone's worried about XRP doing something. XRP is going to do it. Is going to do it. It's just sitting right on the weekly Kijun line right here. We do have a weekly long signal that's in. We are right at a 7-year pattern completion for XRP. Now, listen, I'm not an XRP moon boy or anything. I'm just looking at the chart and I'm just looking at the pattern. You can see the weekly just crossed up here on XRP. All right, the weekly crossed, the 2-week crossed already. The 3-week is already bullish. Okay, the monthly is already bullish. The 2-month still has some room to run, right? So, but all the other time frames are bullish. 2-month chart is a significant chart, right? So, but you can see the 2-month with the bullish divergence. I mean, guys, this thing is probably going to make a major move. Probably going to make a major move. But with high probability chance of that happening because of what it's doing, right? And the monthly, monthly's in a squeeze, right? The monthly's in the squeeze. The monthly's in the squeeze in the 7-year pattern. In the 7-year pattern. So your quarterly target here is $1.70, and that's the quarterly Kijun line here, which is the an average price to get above to go into a massive uptrend. And listen, this is a really big asset. It's a slow mover. It's been doing a bunch of nothing these past couple cycles, but I am of the opinion that XRP this cycle is going to make a major move. All right. If you guys have any other assets you guys want me to cover, man, definitely throw them in the chat. You guys know some of my positions. These are literally all the swing positions that I'm in currently. AVAX. I'm in this Klima coin, by the way. This thing made a major rip the other day. Man, what a move did this thing made, dude. Crazy rip on this one. And I think this thing is just getting started. We tagged the major 236 foot extension to be noted for sure. And it's pulling back here, and that's fine, man. I'm not even worried about the position, really. Okay. You got that massive candle breaking out there. You might consolidate now, and that's actually what you want to see after a major rip like that. Like, it's unhealthy for an asset to just continue going straight up without a pullback, right? So yeah, okay, we got a short signal coming in. Great. What does that necessarily mean? We're going to see, because this asset, after making that huge run up, look at this wick. Look at the buying happening today on this, off this wick, dude. Crazy. Anyways, yeah. So what? Pull back, maybe come back down to back test after the breakout on this coin. Low cap, carbon emission type of coin. Monthly in one of the craziest squeezes I've seen on the charts right now. This asset right here is it. It's got a crazy squeeze happening right here. You guys check this out, man. Look what's happening here, man. Like, I have to like really zoom in to see it. That's so crazy, dude. Anyways, massive squeeze. RSI's wrecked. Falling wedge breakout from the bottom here. I would say your swing target is, probably confluent with the 382 fib extension on the monthly, which is around that $13 region. Okay, and then you start claiming above the $13 region, and we can talk about higher fib extensions. But yeah, this thing looks nuts. Okay, yeah, we'll look at Doge. We'll look at SHIB. What else you guys got? Dogecoin, man, beautiful monthly close above the monthly Kijun line, reclaiming the range here from back of, the previous bull market. And yeah, it's literally doing what I think I'd said it's going to do. We might see, the $3 region for Dogecoin. Who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah, monthly cross, monthly squeeze busted here on Doge. Absolutely epic rip here for Dogecoin. Massive channel break. Looks great, man. Really does. No, and your quarterly Kijun line is around 40 cents, so I think you probably go up to test that, before maybe pulling back or something. And on the quarterly chart, man, look at your stochastics, dude. This thing's gonna go nuts, man. No buy signal yet, but dude, you're setting up for this thing for a major move in the next 6 to 9 months. Okay? Right? The quarterly cross up here was the top. So now you're at the bottom on the quarterly stochastics. So major momentum move coming here for Dogecoin. Major momentum move. It's coming. XLM, yeah, XLM is XRP's little brother, or yeah, basically. All right, so Stellar Lumens, yeah, man, holding the channel. Someone could argue that this is an ascending triangle brewing here, and again with the quarterly stochastics, no real cross just yet, and I would say this is definitely a weaker asset than even XRP, but you got the divergence here on the 2-month. That's definitely present. Okay, on the larger time scales, the monthly crossed up. You're going sideways. You're in that monthly squeeze. It's looking good. It's looking good. You might consolidate for a bit. You got this monthly Kijun line to close above and get above next month. But, your swing target right now is the top of the wedge, which is around 56 cents. You break 56 cents, well, I'm looking at around that. I mean, call me crazy, man, but you know what? Let's fib from the previous cycle. Okay, yeah. So like $2 to $4, like that $2 to $4 region is maybe possible here this cycle for XLM if we actually break the top of the range and get that movement up that you're looking to see. All right, you could be really seeing some crazy things this cycle, guys. These charts look absolutely epic on a larger time scales, so. You really need to pay attention to that, not just like your dailies and your weeklies. Like zoom out a bit more so you get the most data, so you can really hone in on some of these movements that are going to maybe potentially create some life-changing opportunities for you guys. All right. Nom, dude, is this for real, bro? Like, what is this? I mean, I don't really have any data, man, but yeah, this thing's gone, bro. It's gone. Absolutely gone. I mean, Okay, your next target is up here. You're almost at the 1618. If you look at the bottom to the top of the range here, it's a 6,000% measured move. Holy shit! So maybe you're looking at close to that. Looking at close to that, which is a couple zeros away, man. Good for you, man. Good for you if you got in that early, dude. Wi-Fi, total 2, loan, OP, solar, yeah. Solar is not too much to look at on solar. It might just consolidate until Moon River does something. Loan token, yeah, we can take a look at loan token. Again, that token is like high inflation token, so it's also going to really move when pulse chain moves. So yeah, it's at the bottom of its range. I'm holding my position in it. It's earning the yield, so I'm just going to keep at earning that yield. OP, we can take a look at OP. Sure. OP holding the median trend line here on the long-term channel up, and the daily is getting across up. Daily getting across up, so that's good. Your 4 hour here in the squeeze. You know, you could see some sideways here, a little bit more consolidation before, you know, an attempted move up. So yeah, I mean, eventually what could happen is if the longer you hold this base here, could be looking at a retest at the top of the range. You end up breaking the top of the range. You go to the next top, which is like that 480 region. And yeah, you could be looking at, you know, getting above this previous all-time high and tagging maybe $6 here in the future on OP. ETH, we'll take a look at ETH, sure. So ETH, I had plotted here, you know, the quarterly chart closing. Not quite broken out on the quarterly, but pretty close, man. We got pretty close to a quarterly break, right? The breakout here was right here. We didn't quite break it out on the quarterly just yet. You know, it's lagging behind Bitcoin. But you can see we did get a cross up here, 3-month crossed up. All right. You know, your quarterly stochastics giving you the buy signal. Beautiful. Closing above that 20 region. Big movements coming here for ETH. You know, we'd like to see some more volume come in here on ETH. I think with this ETF launching in May, I think we're going to see some action going into after the halving. All right. Amir, we covered the tether dominance already, man. Just scroll back in the stream, all right? Okay, so ETH. I still think we're projecting around a $14,000 ETH this cycle. You know, once these quarterlies start going white, that's when we really, you know, starting to kick off this run here for the altcoins. We've yet to produce a monthly white candle, so that's something to look out for. Once the monthly white candles start coming in, man, you know that it's really going to be alt season taking off or ETH taking off, right? So I think we got some time before that happens. Bitcoin has started. The next asset to go would be ETH, right? And then we're going to see continuations. Absolutely going to see continuations after that. All right, so total 2. Let's take a look at total 2. Total 2, again, no white monthly candles just yet. We haven't broken out just yet. Again, looks really amazing on the chart with the monthly crossing up. You know, your quarterly close here, your quarterly, you know, remaining bullish on the quarterly, the monthly, getting the monthly cross up. Looking great, man. This market's looking absolutely fire right now, man. Absolutely fire on longer term timescales. So yeah, I would say that you know, this is like your long-term channel that you've been kind of respecting. You know, in log scale. So like if you take this out of log, it's definitely in like a I mean, you can't. It's tough to really chart it like this, but yeah, that's pretty close. But we only got one touch point up top, so it's not really valid. But I would say it's kind of like this. We got 2 touch points up top. We got 2 touch points on the bottom, and you know, a higher lowing here off the previous all-time high, And I think we're eventually going to see something like this, guys. Like, you know, $5-6 trillion for total two. Top of the channel. All right. Look at YFI and compound. Yep. YFI, man. Yep. Down here at the bottom of the range. Looking pretty good down here. Risk to reward was quarterly, weekly crossing up, right? ASO weekly cross. I'd suspect a movement this week on this asset. You know, making higher lows, holding the trend line, at a range break area here. Looks like a rectangle bottom. Beautiful. That is beautiful. Absolutely looking good for YFI, man. Absolutely looking good for YFI. Right, $9,800 break is, you know, you got some resistance around this, you know, 10.7 to 11K region. Once you clear that, you're looking at, you know, 18,000 pretty quickly. Okay, or, you know, maybe the golden mean ratio, which is like 20K. All right, that's what you're looking at here on YFI. And, you know, this could end up doing something like this eventually after a rectangle break. And it's like, you know, something like this where, you know, YFI comes up to the 618 and, you know, maybe you back test and you continue, right? And maybe eventually you do get to, you know, 150,000 by the end of the bull market. Something like that, right? Something like that. All right, compound. Compound's like looking very similar to YFI. With the rectangle bottom, and man, you can see the curvature on the trend line here with the accumulation along the trend line, and you're right at the breakout area here, right at the breakout area. Got another range right here. You can see that you'll probably go tag once you do break, so you're looking at maybe 173 here on compound once you do break out as your, you know, short term, next sort of target. And yeah, beautiful. You even tagged the 618 there, or tagged the 38.2% retracement level. And so, yeah, I mean, you broke this downtrend, right? Broke the downtrend, broke it, back testing it, riding up along it. Looks good, man. Absolutely looks good from a technical point of view. You could argue that this was a falling wedge breakout. Top of the wedge, $817. Price discovery target, $2,000. I don't know if we're going to see that, but just keep paying attention to what this thing's doing. It's for sure looking great on the weekly and the monthly time frames here. And the monthly crossing up. And your monthly RSI sitting down here at 49. Lots of room to run. Macro pulse chain target, SHIB. Yeah, we'll take a look at those two. Shiba Inu. All right, Shiba, you know, Shiba tagging the 786 fib extension and holding above the 618. Probably see some consolidation after that major leg up. You made some lower high, making some lower highs here. Yeah, maybe just some sideways action. You know, maybe you get one more drawdown here. You're holding above the 618 though right now, so yeah, just pay attention. I think you know, after that major leg, you might just be consolidating, and yeah, could be doing something like this for a bit before it, you know, makes another leg up. Okay, that could take a couple months to play out. All right, H bar. So you broke out, you back tested, you're just going sideways here on the daily. Weeding off this negative momentum on the daily chart, which is good. You got a bit of hidden bullish divergence kind of on the chart. And you're working on a daily cross up. So that's something noteworthy. You haven't crossed up just yet, but once you do, I think you're going to see some action, okay? Quarterly close at a breakout. Quarterly close was in a breakout here for H-bar. So that's good. And, your target eventually, probably within the next few months, is to tag and touch, 18 cents, maybe even 20 cents. And that's it. I'm sure the quarterly chart here looks good here on the squeeze. Yeah, you broke the monthly squeeze and you're just going sideways here a bit, man. That's it. That's it. You need to cross the MACD bullishly to really start to see that action come through with the action that you want to see, like some parabolic movements, right? So yeah, I mean, monthly candle closing green, but sort of like a, we call them a lightsaber. The lightsaber type of closure. It closed green though, so I would say this is just a backtest candle, and maybe next month or this month we could see that 3-bar type of play up to that 18-19 cent region. Just depends on the action here for H bar, but we're about to get that daily cross up. So if that comes to fruition, I think we'll see some upside. If not, we're just going to continue going sideways, or maybe even test 10 cents again as possible. And that's it. That's it. There's nothing really else to talk about. The volatility is elevated. I'm under the impression that we're going to see some continuation here on H-bar. We'll look at INJ, man, sure. So INJ. I actually took a position on INJ around that $1.60 region. In August of 2022, that was a trade setup that was given to the community. Okay, man, you are outside of the range, and you are just consolidating up here. You're very overbought. You got a weekly MACD cross to the downside. You could be losing that momentum. You got a 2-day bearish cross. So what that could mean is, we could see some downside, man. We could see this thing come back down to retest $24 at some point, right? It's gone on quite a major rally. So it wouldn't really shock me if this thing did have a drawdown, all right? I guess it just depends on how you draw this. So I think I think this looks about right. There you go. So yeah, rejecting the top of the channel for now. It's very extended, man. It's very extended. I would not suggest anyone be buying this asset up here. It tagged the 1272 fib extension. It probably wouldn't be a bad thing to exit this position. I did exit about half my position in December when it was up here. And, what do you want from the thing? It went from $1.60 or $1 and change to almost $50 in a year and a half. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, just watch out, man. I think it's possible this thing can potentially see a further drawdown. As we just noted, we got a bearish cross on the daily and 2-day. But we'll see, man. There's a lot of demand for this asset, and it seems to be holding the range right now. But we'll see. It's still continuing to make higher lows off this low. All right, but you can see the attempted rally and completely got rejected here at 52 bucks. And yeah, that's it, man. I mean, there's not really too much to talk about on this one. You know, you could see a draw. I'm thinking that you could eventually see this draw down. You know, your daily getting a bit of a reset, and yeah, the daily looks like it might, you know, try to reclaim or make another attempted move. But I'm of the opinion that, you know, if this thing continues to get rejected and run out of steam, you know, like the monthly time frame, yeah, it's still holding this flag on the monthly. You know, no real reason to get super bearish on it just yet. But you know, your monthly candles are white, meaning they're overbought, they're extended. And well, yeah, I mean, you broke the squeeze back here, and you moved from $6 to $50 off a monthly break on the squeeze. That's almost a 10x move on that squeeze. So I think it's done its job. I mean, your 2-month chart, I would say, looks okay. You know, you got the 2-month cross. Listen though, man, you're sitting up here at an 80 on the 2-month chart. The monthly RSI is cooling off a bit at 80. We could see this thing kind of cool off a bit, maybe go sideways, or maybe even see a drawdown. Like that would still be good to see. Like, you know, even if it does something like this, right? Just look at your major trend line right here. So if this does pull back, you know, down to the trend line around 22 bucks and gets a reset, that would be absolutely nice to see, especially if it holds that region. All right, cool. All right, IMX and Jasmine, yeah, okay. So IMX, just holding within the bounds of this channel that we had drawn. No real changes here. You know, maybe starting to lose a bit of your weekly momentum, right? You're overbought. You're sitting at 71. I mean, you're holding bullish control zone territory, but you could just see some sideways action right along the bottom of this range. You know, you might get one more test of the bottom of this range. That would be really good to see. 275 be tested and held as support. Then you could be looking at like a double bottom type of formation to then propel you higher. That's kind of what you want to see for continuations like this. The monthly just closed. Your monthly closing, you know, kind of a back test type of candle. Yeah, I mean, you're just holding this range, man. I wouldn't say anything really bad just yet with this. And your monthly RSI sitting bullish at 52. So yeah, consolidations here are probably good to see. Your weekly, like I said, is bullish, but kind of looking like it wants to maybe draw down a little bit to back test that region one more time. Right, you haven't been able to produce a higher high on this. You've been, you know, you got this pullback, and you kind of been, you know, floating up here, but not really able to get back above 3.25. So if you can't really get above 3.25, you're probably going to come back down to test, you know, this 275 region. All right. And I would say you're good as long as you stay within the bounds of this channel. If you start to see, you know, IMX kind of breaking this channel and back testing, you know, 275 as resistance, you know, then you can be looking at some major drawdown. But right now, no concern until that actually starts to happen. All right, that's it. That's IMX. Jasmine. Let's take a look at Jasmine. This is quite an asset, man. This thing looks crazy. All right, man. So yeah, you broke the weekly squeeze. kind of pulling back in the last couple days, or maybe just consolidating, going sideways. Your 4 hour kind of looking topped out a bit, making lower highs. I would think that, maybe you get another test here of this, 17964 region, right? You kind of got this demand line going on right here to maybe form that, what looks to be like a pennant or maybe like an ascending triangle. I mean, you don't really have a real structure just yet. You might be just, teetering around a bit. That's all. Quarterly chart, probably looking fantastic. Monthly crossing up, confirming across here this month. Okay. It's my best asset to buy. It just depends on what you want to, what sector you're looking at. I personally just picked up this coin, QRDO. I picked it up around 5.8 cents, and it just broke out. Right? Buy low, sell high, man. That's this game we play here. Buy low, sell high. This is I think this is going to be good. Top of the wedge is like, I don't know, $7. Is it going to get there? I don't know, but I think this is going to see some continuation after this wedge break and back test. So that's why I took a position on it. I like what they do. They have like institutional grade wallets, and they're a custody solution for institutions, and that's pretty cool, man. And Coinbase Ventures is invested. So yeah, just follow the smart money, man. That's it. I think this is a good low cap play. Always do your own research, man. All right, Kava. So Kava technically breaking out here on the weekly, opening outside of the trend line. Wow, would you look at that? All right, cool, man. So, we're still in the bounds of this rectangle range here on Kava. I would say it looks good. The weekly is starting to go cross bullish on the MACD. So you're starting to build up that positive momentum, that weekly momentum you want to see. Your weekly ASO is still bullish here. Still looking pretty good. Monthly closure outside as well. At the top of the range. So what we're really looking to see right now is Kava Coin break this 120 region and really, start to make its major move up here. Like we want to see something like this happen. All right. So I'm looking at maybe like a descending broadening formation, or it's an interesting chart, but I think the monthly is in a squeeze on this one, so I liked it. Yeah, monthly in a nice squeeze here. There's other assets that might be outperforming this one. I just like it because it's a layer 1 on the Cosmos ecosystem, and yeah, it's down here, man. It's down at the bottom of the range, and I think there's some nice upside on it. I'm going to pull up some pulse chain assets because I'm actually in some, and I think that these are noteworthy. I'm in the wrapped BTC pairing, which right now is pulling back some. A lot of these coins might see peg at some point, and so that's the whole narrative behind them. So DAI is the other one here that we're all looking at. So DAI tagging the all-time high and going back. Pretty nasty pullback on this right here. We had a monthly close. 3-bar play, continuation completed. So we could see this drawdown back down to like 29-ish area. Loan token probably getting wrecked because Pulse Chain's getting wrecked. Yeah, I mean, there is a pretty big buying wick coming in here, though. That looks interesting. It's pinning pretty hard. Interesting. But yeah, I think it always sucks to watch something pull back right at a major inflection point. But I think what's going to happen here is we might draw down to like 130s, even back down to like 112s on Wrap Bitcoin. But yeah, you got a monthly bullish engulfing candle that's active. And that's it. I think this is a baby, man. I think this is just going to run eventually. But yeah, making a lower high. It's really going to be important to see this area right here. This area right here, kind of like where we're almost at. If this level holds as support, because then we can strategize this being an area where we maybe make an inverse head and shoulders type of structure, which typically happens after you get a wedge break, right? So we actually had this wedge break and back test and then rally, and that's kind of what I'm looking at here on Wrapped Bitcoin is a hold of this 150 level. Because if we can hold here and we make our inverse head and shoulders pattern, we can be looking at the major leg out and up. Because last I checked, the 3-day chart was looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good on the momentum oscillator here. We got that cross. All right, we got that cross on the 3-day time scale. So you could be looking at a nice buying opportunity right here on Wrap Bitcoin this next day or two, while it makes that drawdown and that reset on the daily. The daily looking like it's rolling over a bit, but the 4-hour, already coming into the buy zone here on the stochastics. Like I'm sure the hourly and the 2-hour got the full reset already. Yeah, so you're pretty much there, man. The 15-minute reset. This is a nice area to pick some up if you believe in this narrative. All right. Yeah, we are into some RWA coins there too, right? Klima, QRDO is another one. Ondo Finance is a big one. Yeah, VeChain and RSR. RSR looked good. It was in a falling wedge type of setup. I think it broke out. I kind of want to take a look at some stocks. I'm in a few right now. Stonks. I'm hopefully looking at Can maybe making a move here. Just holding its range low in this wedge pattern that's been in for quite some time. We finally getting a monthly cross up here. Holy shit, this thing took forever to do that. But yeah, man, I think we'll see. The quarterly not looking too hot on this thing, but the monthly looking good for maybe a reversal The weekly closing green, which was good, off the range low. We didn't quite see a lot of, we did see some follow through. We got about a 7% move on Friday from it. The daily, the daily looks good, right? The low, the higher low. We got to see some volume pick up here on the daily chart on this asset. Another asset that I bought was KSCP. Now, this actually kind of failed to break, unfortunately. But major descending broadening formation, double bottom type of stuff here on the weekly chart. This is why I took the swing. Like, look at the squeeze, man. I still think that this is going to go. It's just going to take some time. Look at the volume coming in here this week on this asset. And, you're down here on the MACD. You got lots of room to push up. Weekly stochastics, giving you the buy signal, confirming the buy signal. So, we could be looking at a couple days of chop or volatility on this low cap stock, but I think very, very low risk to reward type of area to take a trade. I know it didn't break out just yet, but if we do get a breakout or we do see some consolidation, I think we can go test, that $2 region on this thing and maybe eventually get back up to $30 if deemed to complete the pattern. Could take a couple of years to play out. SLI is another play that I'm in right now. This is a lithium battery stock. My entry isn't the best. I think I'm in around 180, so I'm down a bit on this position. But like the monthly chart, not really giving us any good inclination yet on the monthly. The weekly, just sitting down here at this range low. The 2-day chart also sitting down here. I mean, this could see some further downside, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, we're still kind of producing this bearish momentum right now on the 2-day chart and the 3-day chart, probably. The daily also still kind of showing that for now. So what I'll do is if we do get another leg down, and we could see another major leg down, maybe to like 70 cents or something, I'll probably dollar cost average the position, because I think eventually this is going to make a major move to the upside, just a matter of time. MTC was another one that I was looking at, a low cap stock, kind of down here at the bottom. You can see the volume ticking up here, and the weekly or the monthly, starting to gain momentum. The 3-week crossing bullish, that's a good sign. Your weekly chart here kind of just resting right below the major breakout level. Your 2-day, telling you that you could see a little drawdown, and that's fine. You could be, looking at areas to dollar cost average into the position. So this could be good. I think if this does break out, it's looking at a major move up. Cool. So that's just some of the stocks I've been looking at. GFAI, I think, finally starting to break out of this wedge pattern. It's trying to. It hasn't done it just yet, but look where you're at on the chart, man. You got a weekly cross up here, which you haven't seen a weekly cross up ever on this asset. So that's something noteworthy. This thing might go on a major run. And you're down here, man. You're down here. You're not all the way up here. You're down at the bottom of the wedge. Very good area to take a trade. Not financial advice or anything, and do your own research on these stocks. But we're not really seeing the volume being supported yet on this yet. So I think this has some time to brew. You got a major monthly squeeze brewing here. I think this is going to be doing something major soon. So just watch out for GFAI. It is an AI type of stock. Klima is an RWA coin. Yeah, they do real world. Assets. It's in the real world asset category because they do carbon offsets, which is a real thing. So yeah. Yeah, man, and just that volume, dude. That speaks really big things to me when an asset does something like that and breaks its squeeze with volume, dude. The highest volume node you've seen on this asset pretty much ever since inception of the asset. Very good. Very, very good to see that. And yeah, just, profit taking into this level is what we saw here. Not a big deal. I didn't take any profit on it. My intention is to swing trade this for the next 3 to 6 months. And yeah, let's just see how this plays out. It could go sideways. It could come back down to back test 175. If it does come down and draw down like that, I might add to my position because my entry is around 220. And that's it. That's my strategy here for Klima coin. Looks like waves trying to make some moves here. ICP making some moves here in a weekly breakout. Filecoin on the move, $10, holding its parabolic structure after its wedge break. Pith is another one. This one making moves. YGG gaming coin, man, look at this thing, just completely parabolic nutso, gone. All right, man, that's all I got for this evening. If you guys have any other tickers or things you want to ask me, always join the community and ask me there. Make sure you guys just stay tuned. Appreciate all you guys tuning in tonight. We will continue to monitor these markets as they continue to heat up here. All right. Appreciate all your guys' support. You guys have a wonderful week. Catch you guys in the next one.